yourself. Welcome to the present moment. Here, now, the only moment there ever is. We are excited to have you all here. The Union Budget 2021 assumes huge importance in mitigating India's economic crisis and the disruption of social sectors caused by the novel coronavirus disease COVID-19 pandemic. School of Commerce has organized a program to enlighten students with the knowledge on the impact of Union Budget 2021 on the Indian economy. On behalf of School of Commerce, we once again and a life without prayer is a life without. Let us all rise for Tamitai Vardhan. Makes a merry feast. Now, I call upon Mr. M.V. Jagavedis of 2nd BCom CA and President of School of Commerce Association to welcome the gathering.
Budgeting is not a shackle of spending limits, but a reminder of what's important to you. Good morning to one and all. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all for the discussion on impact of Union Budget 2021 on Indian economy. The soul shall always stand ajar, ready to welcome to an ecstatic experience. It's a great honor and privilege in welcoming respected Prakash Sharma, Vice Chancellor Gautam, and Mr. Sriram Sheshadri, founder partner Disha Consulting to this wonderful occasion. With immense pleasure, we welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome our respected principal, Dr. S. Balasamy, for this function. I'm happy to welcome our beloved Dean, Dr. K. Pooja Devi. I welcome Dr. S. Vanita, Associate Professor, School of Management. I welcome our Sir Sarana Pandit, sir, for this function. I welcome my beloved faculty member, admin staffs, and technical team. Finally, I welcome the students of other colleges, my juniors, and my fellow beings. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I welcome you all.
Thank you, Jagavedis. The man of distinct vision and fountainhead of illuminating ideas, an idol of knowledge and inspiration to all of us. With pleasure, I welcome our beloved principal, Dr. S. Balasamy sir, to address the gathering.
Guruvuku Vanakkam, Thayindikku Nandri. Good morning to one and all present here. Respected Professor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Bhagwati Prakash Sharma, Gautam Buddha University, Uttar Pradesh. Our respected today's guest for Budget Talk 2021, Mr. Sriram Sheshadri, Founder and Managing Partner, Disha Consulting Chennai, and our respected Principal, KPR Women Education Wing, our respected Deans, Dr. Kumara Devi and Dr. Vanita from School of Management, all our students, friends, and faculty members, our admin team. Once again, good morning to one and all present here. It's today's our title for discussion, Impact of Union Budget 2021 on Indian economy. So it's an, I think you are all blessed persons. You want to thank your parents because a budget discussion session for that college level students, one or prestigious university vice chancellor is going to inaugurate this session. Then another benchmark personality in that finance area, more than 26 years of service. He cleared his chartered accountant 24 years before itself. So a leading chartered accountant, a renowned an economic analyzer and a political analyzer on behalf of KPR Group Management and on behalf of KPR CAS. Once again, I would like to welcome on the entire team. It is a great day for us. Already our KPR CAS mantra is, we are not going to create any degree holder in our campus. We want to address your dream as well as your parents' dream. So that is the thing. So budget, even for an individual person or a family or a society or a nation. So any spending or any income, it should be calculative in nature. That too, for a School of Commerce and Management students, you want to understand the mechanism of budget, either for your individual spending. For a namesake, I am telling, in the year 1979, in a capital market, Sensex started with 100 base points. Today, in the year 2021, that too, our 5th February, 50,020 points. So you can think about an ordinary person invested 100 rupees in the year 1979. Now he is going to get 50,000 plus. So how much percentage accumulated the value? So till now, only 2 to 3% of the people's aware market. So you are a finance manager or your family as well as individual. We are regularly seeing in our daily newspapers, this family commits suicide, this businessman commits suicide, this family is collapsed due to an improper financial management or improper financial handling. But now for a commerce graduate, very huge demand there. Yesterday evening also we discussed with our guests. Today morning also we are having a brainstorming session. That much amount of opportunities are there, but how you are going to tap this opportunity, how you are added your value. These are all brainstorming sessions. So in this occasion, so I humbly request each and every one of you, you can raise your genuine questions. We are always seeing our today's guest only in TV, the opposite person, he may debate something, Sir also explain in a different manner. Now you are having a golden opportunity, the budget person in front of you. So anything, so my humble request, you want to understand the system, first you want to prepare a budget for yourself, then you can prepare budget for your family, then you can prepare budget for your departmental program. Then tomorrow you are going to join any one of the company, or otherwise you are going to start your own company. You should be a very strong person for preparing a budget, understanding the budget, how you are going to take a decision. So what to do, how to do, when to do, for all the three questions, you should be understand the basic concepts behind the budgets. So year over year, the logics may be vary, the central government allocations may be vary, state government allocations may be vary, how you are going to smell the business. So in which area is going to pick up, in which area is going to little bit challenge in nature. So you can, for the purpose of taking an employment opportunity also, you want to understand the climate condition of the whole Indian economy. Then you want to understand the whole economic climate of the respective state. You want to understand the economic climate of your family, economic climate of your individual. Then only you should be a successful person, a lifestyle person. So this is my small suggestion from my side in this occasion. Once again, I would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Bhagwati Prakash Sharma from Gautam Buddha University. He already joined in our session. In the respectful thanks to our today's guest also. They are all busy persons. They are purely concentrating commerce and management. strategize the personalities. I think it's a golden opportunity. I request all of you to utilize this opportunity in a greatest manner. In this occasion, I would like to congratulate the School of Commerce took a nice initiative to arrange this budget discussion well in advance, and all the very best. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating words. An introduction about today's guest, Professor Bhagavati Prakash Sharma, Vice Chancellor, Gautam Buddha University, Uttar Pradesh. Professor Bhagavati Prakash Sharma, Vice Chancellor, Gautam Buddha University, Uttar Pradesh. He is an eminent and visionary personality. He is a man of wisdom, excellent orator, man with the highest range of experience and whatnot. Professor B.P. Sharma is an expert on global trade scenarios with other people, free trade agreements, economic globalization, patents, investment measures, business environment, social cultural values, and trends, etc. He has been a keen observer and a regular commentator on all opposite issues. Ever since the launch of Uruguay round of talks for the formation of WTO, he has been participating and keenly studying the MTA in the biannual ministerial conference of WTO since 2003. Among the latest events he has participated in the 10th biannual ministerial conference of WTO held at Nairobi in Kenya from 15 December to 18 December 2015. He has spoken on a variety of issues, there including automatic compulsory licensing, agricultural issues, infrastructure, foreign trade special, safeguard mechanism, and a series of other issues. A visionary on management and globally renowned expert on a global business economic scenario, having an in-depth understanding of the dynamics of global trade policies, interpersonal effectiveness, work engagement, organizational culture, and transformational leadership. We are fortunate to have such an eminent person in this wonderful occasion. Sir, I request you to address the
Thanks a lot. The Honorable Chief Guest Sheshadri, the Principal of the College Balu Swamiji, esteemed Deans, HODs, faculty members, and dear students, the facilitator of industry, commerce, and even I would say agriculture. Because it is the overall level of economic activities. And today, most of the economic activities are driven by corporate sector or informal sector. And ultimately, somewhere, all the rest of commerce will play a facilitator. Regarding this year's budget, what do I feel that after almost 3 decades, we have seen a budget which would enhance manufacturing as well as it would facilitate addition of downstream value chain in the products yet being assembled. So at the outset, let me make it clear that in almost in last 30 budgets, what we have done, we have kept on reducing the import duties as well as we have encouraged a lot of FDI. And therefore, in the last 30 years, what has happened? India has got reduced into a country of assembly lines. Right from mobile phones up to metro trains, we do assemble the products. Whether it is the passbook printer, or it is the ATM dispensers, or it is the mobile phone, or TV sets, or washing machines, or Whirlpool. And in this budget, we have I think done away with the certain parts of inverted duty structure. For example, for assembled products, we have, or for ready to sell products, we have increased the duty, whether it is for lithium battery or whatever products. And we have reduced duties on raw materials, components, and sub-assemblies. So I think this budget would be manufacturing activity in the country. So actually, budget should not be treated as a mere matching of revenue and expenditure of the government. Budget helps to facilitate economic activities in an economy. It determines the pace of economic activity as well as it determines the direction of economic activities. And therefore, we should analyze this budget in that light. So, in this budget, particularly stress has been laid upon various manufacturing activities, infrastructure development, and even government had been good enough to adjust 6.8% of fiscal deficit. To my mind, even the fiscal deficit should have been more. Because unless we put money in this post-COVID year in the various sectors, and unless we facilitate manufacturing and facilitate transaction velocity of money, we are not going to add as many jobs as required in the economy for the youth like. So still, I admire this budget, that this budget has taken care of the present day needs of the economy. And another most important thing is that we have focused our attention among 6 pillars. And the first pillar is of health and well-being. And particularly in the budget economic survey presented only a couple of days ago, it has been said that in India, 70% of the healthcare expenditure has to be borne by the family out-of-pocket hospitalization costs. And the government has set a target that this share of family in the hospitalization costs shall be tried to be brought down to 30%. It should be interpreted in the light that World Health Organization has said due to high cost of hospitalization in India, every year 2% of the families are pushed below the poverty line just because the healthcare expenditure becomes unaffordable for many of the families, that they get indebted, and ultimately it pushes every year 2% of the people below the poverty line. And therefore, an outlay of 2,23,000, almost it has been increased by 137% from 94,000 crores to 2,23,000 crores. It would certainly be leading towards the well-being of the population and healthful living. And actually, the productivity of people or human resources of any country depends upon the quality of health, affordability of healthcare services, and therefore this budget has helped in that direction. So I feel that is a good initiative. And even within this Swachh Bharat, Swasth Bharat, and particularly in that we have also added hydrogen energy mission. Hydrogen energy mission has a double advantage. Particularly, I would say that at present we are now shifting from fossil fuel based automobiles to electric vehicles. There are 3 options in electric vehicles. One is lithium battery based, but for that we do not have the lithium deposits in the country, cobalt deposits in the country, and therefore all have to be imported. Otherwise, we could go for sodium ion battery, or rather, if we go for hydrogen fuel cell based mobility, that would be a better option. So, in this particular budget, care has been taken about right choice of technology. And no doubt, the hydrogen energy mission is mentioned for a pollution-free environment. But at the same time, it would be triggering a new technology in the country that we could be able to move towards hydrogen fuel cell technology if we would be embarking fast on this route. Another most important thing is that the lot of stress has been laid upon physical infrastructure, industrial infrastructure, and on financial capital. For example, it is after almost more than 3 decades that we have again started thinking of development financial institutions. What has happened? We have seen in last 5 to 6 years, banks have stopped lending, and unless the industry would get enough loans, I think we cannot add manufacturing activity. But banks have become apprehensive of increasing non-performing assets. So government has made a provision of development financial institutions with an outlay of somewhere around 5 lakh crores in next 3 years, augmenting the resources. Earlier we had a lot of development financial institutions. Industrial Development Finance Corporation of India, IDBI Industrial Development Bank of India, ICICI Investment and Credit Corporation of India. But all of them have been converted into banks. ICICI was a development financial institution, was converted long back into a bank. IDBI has also been converted into a bank. And therefore, industry, infrastructure, they were suffering a lot. And I think this, again, reintroduction of the development financial institutions would be enhancing credit line to the industry, and ultimately we would be able to manufacture, and India can become a manufacturing hub. I would like to mention here that we are 17.6% of the global population, but we have only 3% contribution in world manufacturing. China is also somewhere around us. It has 18.4% of the global population. It has 28.4% contribution in the world manufacturing. Now, just compare. In 1986, China was having 15 to 20% lower per capita income than India. Today, China has 5 times the per capita income of India. Just it is because they have enhanced their hold in manufacturing, and they could also add quality jobs in their economy. That China has highest percentage of middle income growth, despite of being the largest populous country. So this is by virtue of enhanced manufacturing, and particularly in this budget and preceding this budget, government has made a provision of production-linked investment scheme, and almost 1,97,000 crores would be spent on PLI in next 5 years, and estimates have been made that this would be adding a value of almost around $500 billion in the manufacturing activity of the country, and therefore this is another welcome step. Here, I would also like to mention that government has taken a very right decision of establishing mega investment textile parks, and 7 textile parks would be put up in 3 years. Here we should interpret in light of a very disturbing phenomenon that has taken place in the last 6 to 7 years. 10 years back, India was having almost more than 6.5% share in the world textile exports. Today it is less than 3%. Our share in the world textile exports has gone down to less than 3% from 6.5%. And Bangladesh and Vietnam are now having 6% share in world textile exports. And after agriculture and tourism, textile sector hires maximum number of people, 15 million, that 1 crore 50 lakh people are directly employed in the textile industry, and another 1 crore 20 lakhs, that is 12 million people, are engaged in home-based garment manufacturing. So it's providing employment to almost 27 million, that is 2 crore and 70 lakh people. And due to technological obsolescence, our share in textile exports worldwide is declining. Particularly from 2005, the multi-fiber agreement has also been dismantled, and I won't be going into those details. But I think if we can augment employment in textile sector, and if we can enhance the technology in the textile sector, so I think this is also a welcome step. And we have proposed a budget of 5.54 lakhs on particularly infrastructure and all these capital budget, including the roads, highways, railway infrastructure, and urban surface transport, including the metro trains and all these things. So it has a double advantage. Whatever spending we do on infrastructure, it has a high transaction, it generates high transaction velocity. Let me explain because you are the students of commerce. Transaction velocity has a lot of value. Say, as I have learned, your chief guest today, Sheshadri is an economist. If today he hires one employee for 1 day and he pays 500 rupees to that worker, and that person, after getting that 500 rupees from Sheshadri, goes in the market and buys a pair of shoes for his son. Now, those 500 rupees has gone to the local cobbler or shoe manufacturer. Say if that cobbler sells that shoe and he gets 500 rupees, now he has to buy a t-shirt for his son. And therefore, from the nearby ready-made shop, he buys a t-shirt for his son. Now, that ready-made shop owner, he has to get his AC repaired. So he calls a boy to repair his AC, and that 500 rupees goes to the AC repairing boy. Now, that AC repairing boy has to buy books for his son. And son or daughter, whatever may be, I should not give the example of only son, otherwise you bring me that I have explanation. So he may buy books for his daughter. Now, that bookseller, after getting that 500 rupees, if he has to buy a small cabin fan for his shop, so he will be buying a cabin fan from the nearby electric shop. So that 500 rupees would be going to him. If that person has to buy some sweet from the market, because some guests are likely to come, so that 500 rupees has gone to that sweet shop merchant, and he has sold that sweet, and that's why now he has to make fresh laddus, and therefore he has to buy some cooking fat, maybe ghee. So he buys it from the nearby grocery shop. That person again has to. So if within the same day, that 500 rupee note, which has been given by Sheshadri to a workman, if it is changes 10 hands, then an income of 5,000 would be added. Income, turnover, manufacturing. So within next 10 years, it would be 50,000, 10 days. And thereafter in 100 days, it would be 5 lakh. And in a year, it would be generating a revenue of 15 lakhs of rupees. Now just understand that. If instead of buying that shoe from the local cobbler or who makes the shoe, if that workman could have purchased the shoe from online trading platform, and if that platform has supplied that shoe, which is made in China, then it would have created this multiplier impact, and it would have generated this transaction velocity of generating a revenue and manufacturing of 15 lakhs of rupees in a year. That 500 rupees would have gone to. Or if he would have purchased a shoe of Bata, then Bata India Limited is a subsidiary of Bata Company of UK. Then it would be creating a multiplier velocity of money in you. And therefore, I think this domestic manufacturing or the policy, and particularly when we see that for the last 30 years we have seen global division of labor and globalization. Now the world is moving towards reverse globalization. Every country is trying to augment domestic manufacturing, and every country is now protecting its own local economy. So our government has also for example, the agreement on trade investment measures of the WTO say that no investor can be compelled to do any valuation locally. But for many products, government has made laws that the original equipments in the downstream value chain should be manufactured domestically. Then only they would derive the benefits under making it. So I think this clause would again be in the transaction velocity, where I have explained the example of that job created. Now, not going into the details of the mechanics, I would like to mention that for inclusive growth, government has provided for 16.5 lakh crores for agriculture financing. And I think after the first 5-year plan, this is for the first time a huge proposal has been made of 1 lakh crore for agriculture infrastructure. So almost 50% of the people are employed in agriculture or are dependent upon agriculture. And particularly, what do I feel? That it is the agriculture which is the engine of growth for the economy. Say if a businessman earns 20 crores of rupees in a year, he will not be spending it immediately. But if a farmer gets 2 lakhs of rupees by selling his or her crop, so immediately he would buy a mixer grinder for his family, he may buy 3 fans, he may buy some deep freeze for storing milk, or he can buy 2 shorts for his wife, or he would be buying some jacket for his son. So he spends money in the market. So actually these are the, I can say, the agricultural incomes in the country which generate demand for manufactured goods. Otherwise, say in the other sectors, say if an industrialist is earning even 200 crores rupees, it would not be adding that much transactions in the economy. And therefore, I think for agriculture also, regarding regarding the human resource, I think government has taken the step to add 15,000 schools and add 100 training schools. And one education policy at present, our spending on education is only 2.7% of GDP. And therefore, even what do I feel? For example, today, the whole world is moving very fast on artificial. Like for example, Illinois University has developed algorithms by which they can predict crop yield. Therefore, Chinese companies have developed an algorithm on the basis of which they can, so from a simple X-ray of lungs, they can predict who is going to have lung cancer after how much time. So all these type, whether it is for agriculture, for diagnostics, or for manufacturing solutions and artificial, we are much behind. Now, if today almost 90% of the Indian universities are having computer systems with less than 4 GB. Unless we have computer systems of 32 GB RAM or 64 GB RAM, we cannot develop new artificial intelligence products. And therefore, when the government has provided for 7 mega investment funds for textiles, I think for education also, we have to upgrade the infrastructure of, even say for example, a large number of universities are awarding degree of PhD in chemistry, but they do not have gas liquid chromic quota for HPLC or like that. So actually, we have to add quality and innovativeness in our education, and the innovativeness is very important. As I said, that China has 28.4% contribution in bulk manufacturing. India has 3%. Now see the innovativeness of the two economies. China applies for more than 15 lakh patents per annum. We apply for less than 50,000 patents per annum. Chinese applications, if we compare for worldwide application of patents, it is 46.3% of the patents being applied. And therefore, for quality and innovativeness in education, some more investment is required, I think. For defense also, government has, I think one critical thing is that last year, in the last year's budget, government has exhausted, or defense forces have exhausted the entire defense budget. Otherwise, before 2016, almost 50% budget was remaining unspent. And for hardware, actually they have used, we have procured a lot of hardware for our defense, and therefore that is also a critical thing. So that way. But for innovation and R&D, government has proposed 50,000 crores to be spent in 5 years for the National Renewal Fund. But at present, our spending on R&D is just less than 0.7% of our GDP, or maybe 0.7. Since 2003, we have been setting this target that when we brought the science and technology policy in 2003, we said that in the next 10 years we would be raising our R&D expenditure to 2%, but we could not. Again, in 2013, we repeated the same target that by 23 we would be having 2% of our GDP on R&D. But I think by 23 we won't be able to achieve that. But unless we step up our investment in R&D, because India stands 48th in global innovations index. So I think we are up there. India is, I think, having largest youth share in the world. We have 20% of the global youth, and we are having 17.6% of global population. How much is this? 138 crores is almost equal to the combined population of 50 European countries and 26 Latin American countries. Our population is almost around the totally combined population of entire European Union. And therefore, so today, India is endowed with the largest arable area, largest agriculture. China is having 4 times more area than us, but its cultivable land is only 9 crore hectares. We have 18 crore hectares of cultivable land. We are having 127 agroclimatic regions. We are having largest number of micro, small and medium enterprises. So I think, what do I feel? That no doubt, it is really commendable that government has agreed to have 6.